candidate for the degree of Doctor of Education in Organization and Leadership, who is representing the class of 2023 as its speaker tonight, Ms. Aglipay.
President Fitzgerald, Provost Opara, members of the Board of Trustees, Commencement Speaker Manriquez, members of the University Leadership Team, School of Education, faculty, my fellow graduates, family, friends, and guests. When I was working on this speech, I struggled with whether or not to speak to my experience as an immigrant, a woman, and a person of color. I thought, is it really universal enough to speak to a wider audience? But the more I thought about it, the more I recognized the universality of the struggle I was having. The struggle to voice one's own experience of truth. By not speaking to my experience, I wouldn't be true to who I was and what I wanted to share with you today. When I first came to the US at the age of 12, I thought my true goal was to achieve the American dream, which for me meant going to college and getting the right job. Growing up in the Philippines, I used to hear my lola, or grandmother in Tagalog, say, success requires sacrifice. My lola grew up in a time when the Philippines itself was assimilating. She was a public school teacher and saw firsthand what we were losing, particularly our ways of life to the West. She grappled with the difficult decisions of what to leave behind and what to take on as the Philippines westernized. Tagalog was just becoming the national language, despite the fact that hundreds of languages existed and still do exist on the island. I understood the world around me to be one that was under the weight of needing to conform. To do this meant to lose the self and become part of the whole. I just needed to put my head down and run the race I was told to, and I would be rewarded with a job and status. I carried this view with me when I traveled abroad and imposed this meaning onto being an immigrant here in America. In other words, you had to lose yourself to be accepted here. There was one right way, and I had to figure it out so I could be accepted in the US and achieve the dream. Speak the right way, read the right books, learn the right way. These are the things I thought I had to do to succeed. I found myself one day hoping to help children overcome the challenges in their lives in my role as a social worker. And it hit me. Assimilation was not the path of success for me. I tried to conform to socially imposed idea of a successful person. Quiet, differential, and willing to conform. But I realized I was denying my own voice, vision, and power. I was playing small because I was afraid to be seen as too bold, too ambitious, or too different. I realized in doing so, I was losing my values, a connection to immigrants such as myself and the experiences I had from growing up. The people I was trying to help could not see me, and I could not see them. I was not presenting my authentic self. I was hidden behind the expectations of others of who I was supposed to be. It was around this time that I remembered my lola's advice. Success requires sacrifice. I thought I had understood what she meant, that I would lose part of myself to become successful. Except that wasn't right. I misunderstood my lola's sage wisdom. What I understand now is that assimilation is a gilded cage. That gilded cage is comfortable, but it doesn't allow you to say what you're feeling or follow your passion. What I really needed to do was sacrifice the comfort that conformity have brought me to truly find success. This is a sacrifice that would honor my Lola. When I emerged from this period of my life, I decided to get my doctorate and champion the voices of people like myself. Through my research, I identified the tools and methods that immigrant women of color in higher education use to navigate the world. This led me to being able to provide recommendations and opportunities for community building to universities and other organizations. At USF, I learned to understand the complex social and business structures that I had been a part of, and I also realized I didn't have to lose my identity to participate in the world. Indeed, cura personalis, caring for the whole person and not denying your identity, is one of the core values here at USF. It hasn't been an easy journey, and I'm sure many of you can relate, but the greatest rewards often come from the greatest challenges. And as we all continue our journeys from here, let us continue to be curious and self-reflect. Why are we here? What do you want to say? Who do you want to learn from? And what can you bring back to your communities? Thank you, graduates, family, and honored guests, for being true to yourselves and allowing me to be true to myself. Thank you to my family and community for showing me how to pursue my passion without expectation, to love humbly, and how to be part of the whole without losing myself. And a special thank you to my dissertation chair and academic advisor, Prof. Dr. Genevieve Negron Gonzalez, and my committee members, Dr. Duncan Fu and Dr. Kate Westdale, Critical Fem 10, and Organization and Leadership faculty and staff, especially Dr. Desiree Cerquera and Tan Lee, and the rest of the School of Education, students, faculty, staff, alums, and administration, for helping me learn how to be in relationship with my research while learning more about who I am as an immigrant woman of color leader in the U.S. Authenticity is a lifelong quest. May you always engage with it. Thank you for listening, and congratulations, class of 2024.
Thank you, Ms. Aglipay. I am pleased to